Thank you for joining this Cortona3D What's New webinar focused on the release 14.0. Today we will go through major new changes and features. However, if you are interested in finding out a complete list of all the new things, please refer to the release notes which are available on our website. If you do have a question during this webinar, please feel free to ask it using the questions and answers chat. The first exciting feature that I would like to demonstrate to you is the automatic generation of HoseSpline from the object gallery based on the existing static geometry. This feature allows you to quickly recreate various wires and cables based on the existing 3D geometry without the need to manually create control points as in the past. Now let me demonstrate you how easy it is to use this feature. In this example, I will substitute this static cable by our HoseSpline object from the gallery. In the past, I would have created multiple control points and readjusted their positions to match this advanced curvature. Now, the new feature allows you to quickly generate HoseSpline based on the existing static geometry. We go straight to the Auto Detect tab and select the item that we would like to recreate, like so. Now it already created a new HoseSpline. If required, we can also increase the smoothness of the curvature of the created HoseSpline by increasing the number of control points. Let's now close this window and attach this HoseSpline to this plug. I will select the last control point and attach it like so. Now, as I move the plug, the HoseSpline will move as well, as it is a flexible object. The next small but very handy feature is the ability to copy and paste the parameters of parametric objects from the gallery. Here I will create a new panel text and insert some text. I want this panel text to look exactly like my original panel text. Now, instead of trying to match all these parameters manually, what I can do is just copy and paste them, like so. Right-click in the item tree or item list, copy object parameters. Now I locate my second panel text and paste parameters, but I can specifically select those ones that I actually need here, like so. Let's move on. A couple of useful features. The first one is the addition of new background related settings that allow you to either use the solid color when you're generating raster illustration, use current 3D view background colors, or use transparency as a background, as you can see here on the slide. There is also a change in the way raster illustrations are generated, what is taken into account. As you can see, here we have a navigation cube, graphic safe area, and also item access, which are enabled at the moment. Now, if I generate raster illustration, all these elements will not be included on my illustration, which was not the case in the past. Another quite important change in logic of the image generation is that the original image size, that is width and height, they are both taken into account when you subsequently update illustration. In the past, upon update, only the currently set width and height of illustrations were taken into account. So if you had in the project several images, all of different sizes, upon update, on this single value, currently set in the settings or taken into account. This is not the case anymore. Let's have a look at the example how this functionality now works. So here in Rapid Catalog, I have two identical IPC pages. Let's create a vector illustration for the first one. But first, let's check our image size settings, so width and height. Let's generate illustration like so. Now I go to my second IPC page, and for this illustration, I will use a very different width setting, like so. Now let's create illustration for this page as well, like so. And we'll run an update, but first I will just delete some geometry like this. Now let's update all our illustrations. Now bear in mind that at the moment we have a width of 500 millimeters. We should get the original width for the first illustration. Let's check this out. Picture object, and here's the width, which is the original width that was taken when this illustration was captured in the first place. So that's the first one. And the second one. Here we should have our value of 500 millimeters. Now let's look at interface improvements. The order of items within assembly item in item tree can now be changed with drag and drop method. Previously, order of items within assembly item was fixed as defined in source data. Next, a special icon is shown next to a procedure step in procedure editor if it is linked to a document step. This allows to quickly find linked and unlinked steps. Finally, it is now possible to identify items referenced in the document and vice versa. Now let's have a look at other noteworthy changes. The first one is that we discontinued plugin-based HTML publication starting from this release. In all of the out-of-the-box specification components that you'll find in RapidAuthor applications, HTML5 is the only kind of HTML output that can be produced. The second change, you will find a new demonstration projects based on the drill and water pump in demo working spaces. Let's move on to our second subject, which is Cortona3D Editor Pro. And the first feature is the object highlighting. As you hover with your mouse over an object, it is being highlighted, as simple as that. This is particularly useful whenever you have multiple objects lying close to each other, overlapping each other possibly, and you are simply unaware which object you are about to select. So this prevents you from erroneously selecting the objects that you don't really want to select. This functionality also works with MetaFile Explorer. As you are hovering over objects in MetaFile Explorer, associated objects are highlighted on your canvas. If required, this feature can be turned off, and you can also change the color of the highlighting. Another small improvement in the user interface of 2D Editor Pro is the ability to hide and lock various objects in your MetaFile Explorer. On this illustration, I have a figure which is sitting below all other objects. Now, if I try to select an object, it is highly likely that I would accidentally actually select the figure. Also, as I try to drag select, that figure will also get included. Now, the lock allows me to exclude locked objects from being affected by selection. We can also completely disable the visibility of any object, like so. The next subject is data import. With this release, we are supporting the following new versions of the previously supported CAD formats. A small note that you do need Rapid Data Converter for Teamcenter in order to import these formats. The next subject, Rapid Developer, and specifically Rapid Configuration. The first key new feature is the representations based on metadata. What this allows you is to map metadata values with your representations. So instead of manually assigning representations in RapidAuthor projects, you can do this by import profile. And the second very valuable new feature is the automatic linking of items with existing DPL table rows. In Rapid Catalog, whenever you have imported your DPL table from Excel, for example, or perhaps you manually created your table or imported it from another CAD file without 3D geometry, if you would like then to import another geometry and link your 3D items with those DPL table lines, you can do this with this new feature. Rapid configuration allows you to specify which common metadata should be used for matching. Typically, this is part number, and also select whether hierarchy of the DPL table should be taken into account. The next subject is our integration with Teamcenter and namely Active Workspace. In this release, we continue to develop deeper integration with this new web client of Teamcenter. Now we support authoring of S1000D, SCORM, and data map publications within Active Workspace. It is important to know that you do still need Rich Client in order to create S1000D business objects in the first place.
George?
Yes. Okay, I give the floor to Alexander at this point, and he will continue from now on.
Please, could you kindly launch this this movie? Here, I would like to extend a bit the information which George provided to you. I would like to show how currently the process in general is organized in Active Workspace. You can see that we can open RapidAuthor object and we can see just import button here because this object doesn't, let's say, include any information so far. After import of source data, we try to open the RapidAuthor again, and we see additional buttons like capability to open for editing, for view, for update, and we still are able to import again. We select here edit button and open the Rapid manual for this specific type of the object. After that, we can edit as usual the model, add some additional animations, etc., change texts to the illustrations and save it back after publishing, right? Now we have a publication of the project inside Active Workspace environment, and this publication in PDF format and in 3D format. And this causes different behavior of the form for opening of RapidAuthor. If you open it again, you will see the distribute button, which allows you to distribute the information to content management system. So this is the general process now which we have in Active Workspace. And George, thank you. Please.
Okay, let us continue.
And secondly, we are now supporting authoring of augmented reality content in active Workspace in conjunction with Reflect One software.
I'll give floor to Alexander again.
Yeah, but currently I would like to present you also one additional function to preview this augmented reality scene before we pass it to the augmented reality of Reflect. Now you are able to open the document and add augmented reality positioning to check in the future how it will look like in real scene, right? You can open the edit augmented reality parameters function. You can position the point where you are going to locate your device or your product. You change the viewer bundle parameter to iOS, and then you save this project as author and publish the document as a file, right? So you just save and publish it as a file. And after that, you will be able to send this file to somebody who is able to check your work and check your results. You will be able to send it by email, right? That's definitely how I'm doing this. After that, the person who receives this email can launch it right in the email in a message and select the application Cortona3D viewer in iOS and just start this project and review and preview the animation in real environment. This is a preview function before you send this information to production application of Reflect in the normal process. But it can save some time if you find some mistakes. You can check your job before. Well, thank you, George.
Okay, let's continue.
This concludes our webinar. Now, if you would like to find out the list of all the changes and new features in this release, which we haven't covered today, you will find them on the release notes on our website. Also on our YouTube channel, you can find recordings on how key new features can be used. Finally, all of the features are fully documented. You will find PDF documents as well as the embedded help in all of the RapidAuthor applications. We also have online knowledge base on our products. I thank you for joining this webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them.
You can send your questions to questions and answers chat in the Microsoft Teams. I understand there are no questions at this point, so thank you.
George, it seems to me I see in the live event in Q&A a lot of questions.
Okay, could you please read them aloud, some of them, as I do not see them.
Okay, let me try to start with something. Yeah, I see a lot of questions from Greg's side. Yeah, is the video sequence prompt in terms of time, or is it really that fast? No, we use quite simple. Looks much faster than in Rich Client, and we use quite simple geometry here. Seems to me it should be the same. How much additional work for Reflect? I see Ruslan already answered.
So for now, we implemented integration with Reflect One for active workspace integration. So now it's possible to edit AR content in scope of Active Workspace. That's the main feature, but generally the function is the same like it was with the previous release in Rich Client. So we have implemented support for Active Workspace. Also, I saw several questions I'm already answered, but for everyone, with the latest release, we support Active Workspace version 5.1.
Okay. I see the question, are all these videos available on your YouTube channel?
Yes, this webinar will be shortly published on our YouTube channel, and also in addition to that, you will find short recordings of the key new features separately.
I see. In my company at the moment, we are using RapidAuthor 11.1. Would you please show me if is it possible a video demo of an output document of the RapidAuthor version 14.0? Thank you a lot. I see that Mikhail Dormidonov answered and provided the link to our demo Cortona3D.com site. So if you are going, if you will open the demo.cortona3d.com resource, you will find a lot of publications created with our last version of RapidAuthor.
Anything else?
I just scroll down because I see a lot of questions and answers already. Ruslan answers. We use Teamcenter CMS integrated with Teamcenter, so it would be good if Cortona review window can publish view all Cortona 3D objects which make up documents in Teamcenter CMS. It seems to me this the suggestion which we can review internally and discuss. Is it possible to sort the BOM list in alphabetical or numerical order in addition to move it manually?
Anyone else from the team wants to answer this?
I see that Mikhail Termidontov is going to answer.
Okay.
Can I answer with my voice?
Yes.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, then in item 3, this is not possible, but you can sort in item list. You can sort the all objects alphabetically using any name or metadata.
Item list is located to the right of the item tree on the left-hand side of the user interface.
Okay, I see a lot of questions from Mr. Greg, but it looks like all of them answered. Am I right? Understand? If you have any questions, please put it in the chat. We are still here. If something not answered, please repeat it.
So I will make a comment for everyone. So the question was regarding support of integration with the service planner. So in current release, there is no any new functions for our integration with the service planner, but we are planning a lot of changes in coming releases. So that will be a huge change. And also was the question about the authoring for augmented realities content together with Active Workspace. I think that's can like more about some demo or something, because on this process also, as everyone knows, Siemens and Reflect involved. So I think that can discuss it, and we can provide information after the call by request.
I see another question from our colleague. What is the impact of the HTML change?
Your end user doesn't really have to install anything on their device rather than a modern web browser. The output HTML page looks almost identical. That's the only, I would say, the difference. It's a change of the underlying technology more than anything. In fact, for your end users, that's an improvement, huge improvement, as they can use any browser without installing our software, our viewers, as in the past with plugins.
And it also works on different operating systems and mobile devices.
Okay, another question I see, will there be a PDF publishing tool with content management in the future? And will there be PDF? Yeah, it's the same, twice. Honestly speaking, the question probably not clear. Content management system has a PDF publishing tool. Have not? Probably you can repeat your question, rephrase somehow, because it seems to me it should be related to our demonstration where we publish PDF together with HTML, but I don't understand the question clearly. Okay, probably late. Anybody else? No. Yes. From version 13, a publishing tool has been provided by Cortona to publish a dynamic map to be displayed in the viewer. Does it mean that the equation is related to the same functionality but for PDF, right? Gentlemen, do we have any answer for that? It seems to me it's related to data map.
Yes, at the moment our publishing tool is capable of displaying only interactive content inside, not PDF. Whether this will be expanded to PDFs, maybe Ruslan is in a better position to say.
I see the clarification. Cortona3D data publishing tool, but it seems to me we already have it. 3D publishing tool.
I think person asks whether PDF can be displayed inside this tool. That's the question, I think.
Ruslan, Mikhail, do we have any news?
If I correctly understand the question, it's about the tool inside content management system for our interactive content. In this case, the answer is yes, this tool supports interactive content. Yeah, but for PDF content, you can use CMS.
Okay, I don't know if our colleagues are satisfied.
So again, that's the tool. CMS didn't have a tool for interactive content.
So it means that PDF book is the CMS deal, but 3D interactive publications are provided by our tool, which we already have inside our connector, right?
Yeah. So for now we have.
That sounds.
Yeah. Will we implement something specific for PDF publishing in scope of CMS? That's an open question because we need to understand why you cannot use content management system PDF tool. Maybe it's just about the style sheets.
Okay. Well, we thank you everyone for joining. I hope things that you've seen and heard today were useful and interesting. This recording will be shared on our YouTube channel. And also there you'll find additional content. Thank you. If you have further questions, please send them to our email support@cortona3d.com and we'll answer them shortly. Thank you very much. Goodbye.